Yeah, audio, video, everything fine? Everything is fine? Yes, I think it's fine. Yeah, okay, so let's get started. Quickly, there are a lot of questions. Now, first thing, just general things about this paper. As I had given you the first reaction also. So this was a proper, that I would call a difficult paper. Now, why difficult? Because see, I will be telling you the solutions, everywhere you will find the solutions, and it may seem easy to people who are sitting at home, correct? But the thing is, when there are so many different, such new variety of questions, when there is such new variety of questions, there were interpersonal skills question, some structuring of some questions was very different, correct? Even simple questions that were based on HCF LCM, they were also given in, there is a room and tiles have to be fitted, this, that. So all the time, instead of, for example, simple linear equation formulation, but it was given in such a way that people were not able to identify. So that's why I'm saying that there was very new variety of questions that were there, because of which this becomes a difficult paper to do in the exam hall scenario. Now, in exam hall conditions, this is difficult, but if you were able to do it, there were enough questions that you can somehow manage, but no way you can call this an easy paper or very moderate, doable by everybody kind of paper. People who have done reasonably well in this, I want to congratulate them, because they were able to manage everything in time, which was difficult. Okay, I agree with that. Now, so here, why we are here for? So now see, if we wanted to give immediate solutions, that could have been done yesterday, but here why we are for? We are here for your, right now for your quant, and tomorrow we will discuss RC and reasoning, and here we will be discussing it in depth. The solutions also we will provide is proper, otherwise what happens, you might have seen that by the time in videos they are reaching data sufficiency and all those difficult questions, people are just marking the answers, and many of them are actually incorrect in my opinion. Baki, let's see what UPSC does. So that's why we'll be doing them very calmly, like we used to do in class, and there are some things, there are some new approaches also that you will get to learn from this. So that is the purpose of the video. Okay, let's get started. Now, this is set A that I am following. Now, first they started with data sufficiency question, in which they gave the options like this from the get-go. So basically what they said, that select this option if the question can be answered using one of the statements alone. Okay, so if one statement alone is enough, either statement, one of them, okay, either the first statement, second statement, if one of them is enough, then it's fine. Then next, select the option if the question can be answered using either statement alone. If one of the statement alone can solve this, but not the other. The other one is if either works, either statement works. You take statement 1, that is enough. You take statement 2, that is also enough. Then third, using both the statements. So here, if you use both statements, then only you can say that this, you can say that this was sufficient, and here even if you take both, then also it is insufficient. Okay, so this is all different kinds of options you have. Now we'll start doing questions. Now first, okay, very good question. All these 4-5 questions that came in data sufficiency were little tricky. Okay, so we'll understand them. We'll also see better ways to solve it. Okay, then let's get started. So now you see here, what it says, X receives 3 coins of different denominations. Okay, what are the denominations? 1, 2, 5, 10, 20. Now he has to receive 3 coins. So out of these he will receive any 3 of them, correct? Now 1, 2, 5, 0, 10, 20. Now it says if the total amount received by X is M. Okay, so any 3 of them was chosen and X got M rupees. This is fine. Then it says, does X receive a coin of denomination 5? So if he randomly received some 3 coins, because of which the sum of money that he got was M rupees, then it is asking you, did he receive coin with denomination 5 or not? So basically the question is got 5 question mark. If you can fill here yes, then it is enough. If you can fill with confidence no here, that is also enough, correct? But both should not be possible. Now if you look at, okay, if you look at first, M is not a prime number. Okay, if M is not a prime number, then what are the possibilities? Now the thing is that if you, let's say you choose 1, 2 and 10, now what are you getting? 1 plus 2 plus 10, what is the answer? 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 10 is 13, correct? Now this is a prime number. Okay, then let's pick another. Now you will see that in some other case you will start getting some non-prime number also. For example, let's say I pick 10, 20, this is 30 and 2. This is also possible. So 10 plus 20 plus 2, what I got? I got 32. But this is a composite number, correct? This is also possible. Now it says M is not a prime number. Now can I pick any other? Are all numbers that will come are prime, or I will get even more composites? So I can try to find more composites, more prime. So if you look at here, so for example 1, 5, 10. Now what is this? 1 plus 5 plus 10. What you got? 16. So this is also composite in nature, correct? So 16, 16. So you are getting composite numbers also. And if you take, for example, 1, 2 and 20. So you take 1 plus 2 plus 20. What you got? You got 23, which is prime again. Does it tell you anything? M is not a prime number. Does it tell you anything? There are multiple, there is no unique value. There are multiple values that are giving you composite, multiple values that are giving you prime numbers, correct? So you cannot guess using this. So first statement is not enough. Now second statement is actually enough. I will tell you how. I can tell you the proper process also. So basically you can do the trial and error method that is available everywhere. Now I can tell you a better method, which is using digital sum. So what is digital sum? See, whenever any number, so sum of digits of a number, sum of digits of a number is equal to remainder when that number is divided by 9. So when a number is divided by 9, then whatever is the remainder, that is also sum of digits of that number. This whole thing that you see here is called digital sum. Now if you look here, so it says the sum of the digits of M is greater than 5. So sum of digits of M is greater than 5. Now you start seeing. So basically what you understood, that if I want to find sum of digits, I can just find out the remainder, and that will also work. Remainder when divided by 9. So you start taking cases. For example, if you take, see 1, what are the possible values? You have 4 of these. You have 1, 2, 5, 10, 20. Correct? You have 5 of these. You have to pick any 3. Now any 3 you pick, eventually you will add them and divide them by 9. Now don't you remember that if this is sum of 3 numbers and you are dividing it by 9 to get the remainder, it is same as you find out the remainder for them individually and then add. So what you can do is, instead of this you use when these numbers are divided by 9, what is the remainder, and that will give you sum of digits directly. So what will be the remainder? 1 divided by 9, it will be 1, 2 divided by 9, it will be 2, 5 divided by 9, it will be 5, 10 divided by 9, it will be 1, 20 divided by 9, it will be 2. Now, it is saying that the sum of digits of m is greater than 5, is greater than 5. Now, sum of digits you can get from this. Now, consider this case. 5 is not chosen. Now, if 5 is not chosen, you can just remove this. Now, what are you left with? You are left with 1, 2, 1, 2. Correct? Now, if you add them, add any of them. So, 2 plus 1, any 3 of them. What you can get? You will get 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 1, 5. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4. So, 1, 2, 1, 2, you make any addition of any 3 of them, the sum will always be less than equal to 5. Now, if the sum will always be less than equal to 5, then you are ensured that 5 is not there. Correct. Now, if it says the sum of digits of m is greater than 5, now if m has to be greater, the sum of digits of m has to be greater than 5, then 5 must be there. And that's why this tells you definitely that if there is 5 available, if there is in that combination whatever you took of m, if you took 5, then only you can get sum of digits greater than 5. If you have not taken 5, you will always get it less than 5. And that's why the answer to this is one of the statement is enough to answer, the other is not enough. That means the answer is A. A is the answer to this question. Understood? Fine. Then next, let's see this. Yeah, again little typical. For two distinct real numbers x and y, which of them is bigger? So now see this, x square is greater than y, y is greater than x square, and y is less than root x less than 1. So how you solve this? Now see, one way is trial and error, okay, that you can find everywhere, but that is not a very foolproof way. So if UPSC gives this wrong or anything like this, that won't work. So I will be telling you the real way, which is using graph. Now graphs of course you don't do in CSAT, and that is my problem with them, that this is actually a graph based question. For people who know graphs, this is an easy question, but for people who don't know, it is very difficult to guess the numbers, keep on trying. So they should not be giving this, or they should tell that we will be giving graph. If you give me one lecture, I will teach you and you will learn also, okay. But anyway, so this is, so the graphs I can tell you. So y is equals to x square, okay, this looks something like this. This is y is equals to x square. Now y is equals to root x. This graph actually looks like this. This is y is equals to root x. Now if you look at it, so what it is saying, so if you take the first statement only, now x is equals to y looks something like this. So x is equals to y passes right in the middle. Why? Because it passes through 1, 1, and y is equals to x square and y is equals to root x also passes through 1, 1. Now if you see the first statement, it says that x square, y is greater than x square less than 1. That means what is the region? What is the region we are talking about? So it is asking you about x and y. Now in this, see, this is the region that is fruitful to us, correct? This is the region is fruitful to us. Now if you consider, see, first statement is not enough, second statement is also not enough. You can find cases for it. Also you can see it by the diagram. Now if you take them both together, then people were finding issues. Now understand how you do this. So basically this is the intersection, correct? Essentially what it says x square is greater than y greater than 1. Now if I combine this with the second statement, this becomes this. So x square, y is greater than x square but less than root x. So y is greater than x square but less than root x. So here this whole area is actually eligible for your inequality. Now it is asking you which is bigger, x or y, correct? So in this case, which is bigger? In this case, if you look, so here here x is greater than y, and just above this line there is also a region. Now for this region actually y is greater than x, and that is why you cannot tell, even if you take them together, that is x greater than y or y greater than x. Eventually the answer to this becomes D. D is the answer. Okay, both together also are insufficient. If you want to see them individually, that also you can see. For example, see this. This is what? This is y is equals to x square, and this line, this is only for engineers who know about all these graphs. This is y is equals to x. Now, if you see here, what is the region that we want? Now, y is greater than x square, so all this region is available. Correct. Now, if you take this part, then here x is greater than y, and if you take the other part, then here y is greater than x. So that's why you cannot tell with certainty here also, and even if you take both of them together. Then next, yeah, now this is much easier. Those two questions were little difficult, I would say out of scope also to do in limited time in CSAT. Say, see, it says if x and y are integers, then x is even. Okay, then x square y square is even, 1 plus x square plus y square is odd. Now see, it is asking you, is x even? Is x even? Now statement 1 says x square into y square is even. Now what does this tell? This tells at least one of x or y is even. This you can feel, because if they both are odd, then it will be odd into odd, that is odd. That won't be correct. Now if you see this, 1 plus x square plus y square is odd. Now what you do here, see, now from this it is given 1 plus x square plus y square is odd. So what I can do, I can solve here. So 1 plus x square plus y square is equals to odd. Now x square plus y square is equals to odd minus 1. Correct? Odd minus 1, that means what? Odd minus 1 is always equal to even. Correct? So x square plus y square is equals to even. This you can feel. Correct? 3 minus 1 is even, 5 minus 1 is even, all the time it is even. So x square plus y square is even. Now what are the possibility for x square plus y square to be even? That means either, see, even power any number is always even. I am talking about natural numbers. Odd power any number is always odd. Correct? This you understand? Now if you understand this, then x square plus y square is equals to even. That means either they both are, so either they both are even, because even plus even is even, or they both are odd. Odd plus odd is also even. But if they are odd and even, then it won't work. Correct? Because odd plus even will become odd. So from here what you get? From here you get either both even or both odd. Now using first statement, it is asking you, is x even? So first statement is not enough. Why not enough? Because even if y is even, that also works. Then see this one, it says that either both are even or both are odd. Correct? So both odd is also possible. Again, you cannot tell if it is even or not. If you take this, then it is even. If you take that, then it is not even. But if you take them both together, what is the intersection? The intersection is what? That it is saying that at least one of x or y has to be even, and this says either both even or both odd. What is the intersection? The only intersection is both even, because if they are both odd, then this won't work. Correct? So that's why intersection is both even. Now if you take both of them together, then what you will get? Both even. That means x is also, with certainty you can say that x is even. That's why both of them together gives you the right answer, and that's why C is the answer to this. Understood? Then let's do this. It says X is a collection of certain odd numbers, okay, whereas Y is a collection of certain even numbers, okay. So X is a collection of even numbers and Y is a collection of odd numbers. Now it says T consists of the numbers all of which are either from X or from Y. So T has either all from X or all from Y. Correct? These are the two possibilities with respect to T. Now it says, is every number of T, T consists of numbers all of which are either from X or from Y, is every number of T from Y? So it is asking you, is T only taken from Y or not? You have to tell with surety, or can you tell with surety or not? Now first, the sum of any two numbers belonging to T is even. Now does this tell you anything? If you take it from Y, then it becomes odd plus odd. What it will be? Even. Now if you take from X, it will be even plus even. What it will be? Even. Does it tell you anything? No, nothing. Then if both P and Q are picked from T, then P minus 1 into Q is even. Now what you have to do? So P minus 1 into Q is even. Now so either T will have both even or both odd, correct? This is the core. Now let's say I took even, so this becomes what? Even minus 1 into even. What this will be? This will be even minus 1 is 2 minus 1 is 1 odd, 4 minus 1 is 3 odd. So this is odd into even, so this comes out to be even, correct? Similarly, if I take odd also, then also it does not matter. Why? Because odd minus 1, that is 5 minus 1 4, 7 minus 1 6, this becomes even, and even into odd is again even. So even second statement is not telling me anything. It is still saying that both even, both odd are possible. Okay, so even this statement is not working, and that's why now belonging to T is even. Is even, so even. Yeah, so both of them are not working out. Now yeah, so answer has to be B again. Then next, now this was easier. See, so x, y, z are integers each greater than 1, then x is a prime number. Now you need to tell this. So x y square is equals to 116 and xz is equals to 261. Now you need to tell. Okay, so 116, how do you divide this? So 116 is actually 29 into 4, correct? There is no other possibility. It is 2 power 2 into 29 power 1. This is the only possibility. Now is 29 square of anything? No. So that means very clearly what you have here, you have here x is equals to 29 and y is equals to not 4. This is 2 square, correct? So y is 2. So you are getting the perfect values. What it was asking you, is x a prime number? So in this case, is x a prime number? Yes. You're getting perfect values and you can say yes, x is a prime number. Now let's see this. So xz is equals to 261. Now how do you get 261? 6 plus 2, 8 plus 1, 9, correct? So if you divide this by 9, so this becomes 9 into, this goes 2 times 8, 81 81, it will go 9 times. So this becomes 29 into 9. Now from this, can you tell anything? No, because you can write it like this. You can write it like this. For example, 261 is equals to x into z. So here what it seems like, x is 9, but you can also write it like this, 29 into 9. Correct? So now x is equals to 29 is also possible. So composite is also possible, prime is also possible. That means second statement is not giving me anything. First statement is enough in itself, and that's why answer becomes A. That is, one of the statement is enough to answer the question. The other is not. Then now, how many words can form by shuffling the letters of the word Q? Q, U, E, U, E, Q. How many words can you form? Now, see. Now, it says one more thing. The words thus formed need not necessarily have any meaning. That is fine. If Q is always followed by U. So, Q and U are always together. Then you have to tell the number of ways. So, what you have to do? Box method, if you remember. So Q and U you make together, then it becomes E, U, E. Correct? How many entities? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 entities. So how will you arrange them? 4 factorial. Correct? Now you should also arrange Q, U. Correct? Q, U or U, Q. So into 2 factorial. But will this be the answer? This won't be the answer. Why? Because after you have arranged everything, for example Q, U, E, you have arranged it like U, E, E, Q, U. Now you have 2 E here, 2 U here, and for them you would have a repetition. Once you would have considered U here, and then the other repetition will be this U here, that U here, but they are the same U's. Correct? So ultimately you have to divide this once for U by 2 factorial and once for E by 2 factorial. So what it becomes? 2 factorial cancel out, 4 factorial by 2 factorial, that is 4 factorial is 24, 24 by 2, 12 becomes the answer. So D is the answer. Fine. Then, yeah, let's see this X, Y, Z jump forward 4, 6, 5 respectively at 8 a.m. Now in this question, actually if you read, these times do not matter. Okay, time is irrelevant. Why? Because it says need not be at the same moment. So if they need not be at the same moment, then time does not matter much. Correct? So basically X, Y, Z are there. Now it says they jump forward 4 inches, 6 inches and they jump 4, 6 and 5 inches. Then they say they all land on mark 199. So all of them land at 199. Congrats to them. Then it says how many times will they all land on the same mark. Now this is interesting. See, basically once they have landed, let's see for X. So X is at 199. Correct? Y is also at 199. Then Z is also at 199. This is fine. Now next time where will X land? X will jump. X will land where? So X will land 4 inches ahead. So 199 plus 4, this becomes 203. Similarly, this will land 6 inches ahead. So 205. Then 199 plus 5. So this becomes 204. Understood? Then the next would be, again you will be adding 4. So 207. This will be 211. This will be 209. And it goes on. Then you need to find when will be the next time when they will be on the same mark, not at the same time, just on the same mark. Correct? Now, how you will find this? Whenever you want something to happen simultaneously, you take the LCM of these three or whatever numbers are available. So 4, 6, 5, what is the LCM? Tell me quickly. Start taking, for example, 6 and 5 don't have anything in common, so multiply them. 6 into 5, 30. Now start looking for multiples of 30 that 4 divides. So 30, 4 does not divide, but 60, 4 divides. Correct? 15 4s are 60. So LCM came out to be 60. Okay, LCM is 60. Now you need to find the sum total. Okay, now it says what? how many times they all land on this mark between 195 and 1000. So that means it has to be less than 1000. So it will be like 195, okay, plus, sorry, it will be 199 plus 60k less than 1000. Okay, we have done questions like this in while we were doing LCM, but the problem is that they have given it in such a way that students were not able to identify that this is the same type of question. We have done many questions like this. Anyway, then, so this becomes 60k. Now, this 60k is less than, now 1000 minus 199, this comes out to be 801. Correct. Now approximately what you will get, you can just divide it also, that also works. So what you can do, k is equals to, k is less than equal to 801 divided by 60. Correct. Or you can directly put it like 800 also, and approximately if you divide, how many times this will go? This will go one time, 60, 20 will remain. Correct. 20 will remain. Now with 201, how many times 60 will go? 3 times. Correct. 3 times, then you will get a dot and then something something. Correct. So 13 point something something. Now how many k's are possible? K has to be a number. Correct. Now what number can it be? Now of course people saw that k can be equal to 1, 2, 3 up till 13. This everybody saw, but now this is again why they make it tricky. So basically between, not mark 199 and 1000 has been asked, 195 and 1000 is asked. That means 199 where they all jumped together, that also will be counted, and that's why k is equals to 0. K is equals to 0, then you will get mark 199. Correct. So that is also one of the solutions, and that's why even 0 is possible. So how many total values? 13 plus 1, that is 14 values are possible. Answer becomes D. Okay, then let's see this. A toy T jumps forward or backward, in each forward jump it moves 5 inches forward. Okay, so forward is 5 inches. Okay, now let us assume that number of forward jumps be F and number of backward jumps be B. Okay, F and B. Now it says in each forward jumps it moves 5 inches forward. Okay, so total number of forward jumps is F. So for each of them it moves 5 forward. So I am keeping it as plus. Then in each backward jumps it moves 2 backward. So this becomes minus 2 B. Correct. Now it says it moves 2 backward if in 31 jumps T moves exactly 15 forward. Okay, if in 31 jumps T moves exactly 15 forward. So total jumps is what? Total jumps is 31. So that means either he is jumping forward or he is jumping backward. So F plus B is equals to 31, and eventually through all this jump where he reached, how much he reached? He reached 15 forward. So that is 15. I have already taken as positive. Now I am writing this again. So F plus B is equals to 31. Now I have to solve this. Fairly easy. You just multiply it with 2. So this becomes 2F 2B. Correct. And this also becomes into 2. Correct. Now you just add them. So this becomes 7F. 2B cancelled out. Then 15 plus 31 into 2 is 62. 62 plus 15 is 77. So F becomes equal to 11. Now if F is 11, you can put it anywhere. Let's say I put it here. So what I'll get? F plus B was 31. Correct. So that means B becomes 31 minus 11, that is 20. Now it is asking you what is the difference between forward and backward jumps. So 11 and 20, what is the difference? 9 is the difference. D becomes the answer. Okay, fairly easy. This was much easier. We just had to formulate linear equations and then solve it. Then let's see this. So it says where n is not divisible by 10, then the value of m is what? Okay. Now again, this is also very doable. So after the initial part, now this is how they structure the paper. If you look at here, all these like these are difficult questions, proper difficult questions. This also, all these are difficult questions. Now see, suddenly you see a easy question. Now you will see many more easy questions like this in the middle. Okay, so this is one learning, that at the initial part, at the end part, they tend to give more difficult. Okay, in the middle they sometimes give very easy questions. That's why not panicking is very important. Then it says 10 power m into 1000 into n is 75 power 25 this, where n is not divisible by 10. So n is safe, n does not matter to us anymore. Then then the value of m is what? Now just by seeing this, see this, 32 means what? 2 power 5 into 75, correct? So from this only you can feel that 2 is abundantly available, correct? How many 2's you have? 75 into 5, correct? Now if you consider this, if this was the limiting case, let's say 2, then 75 into 5 will be what? 5 5's are, so this will be 2 power 5 5's are 25, 5 here to carry, 5 7's are 30, 35 plus 2, so 375. So then there would be 375 tenths. It is not even in the option. That is why 2 is not important at all. What we need to focus on? We need to focus on only 5, correct? So we focus on 5. Now how many 5's can you get? So from 75 is what? 25 into 3, correct? That is 5 square. That is the max you can get from 75. So from this 75, what you can get? You can get 5 square, that is, and 2 into 25, that is 50. So you can get 50 from here, then into again 5 square, so 5. Now power 2, 5 square, so 2 into 32, that is 64 you can get from this, and from this what you can get? 5 power. Now 32, does it have any 5? No, it does not have any 5. So here you cannot get anything, correct? No 5 you can get from here. So 5 power 0. Now you can add them. So 50 plus 64, what becomes? 5 power 114 it becomes. But don't be in hurry. Thankfully they have not even given it in the options, but it says 10m into 1000. So 1000 is also 10 power 3, correct? So that is 10 power m plus 3 is equals to 5 power 114. So 114 is the maximum power 10 can get to. That means m plus 3 is equals to 114, or m is equals to 111. So answer becomes B. Understood? Then let's do next. Now it says the speed of the speed of a train T is 100 km per hour, okay, and the speed of a person P is 4 km per hour, okay. T crosses P in 15 seconds. So this we have done a lot, that is train and person problem. Person has negligible width. So basically what is the time of crossing? So crossing time is actually equal to whatever is the length of the train divided by, now T crosses P in 15 seconds if P travels along the same direction of motion. So that means P and T are going in the same direction. If they are going in the same direction, what you do? You subtract the velocities, correct? You subtract the speeds. So here again what I have to do? I have to subtract the speed, correct? Now so the speeds are what? The speeds are 4 km per hour and 100 km per hour. So 4 minus 100, this becomes 96. Now this is 96 km per hour, does not matter much. Now this is equal to given as 15 seconds. Don't convert it right now. Actually you won't need to do much. Then the next thing, crossing time again. Now in this case it says that if P travels along the opposite direction of T, then in how much time does T cross P? So if it is traveling in opposite direction, then what is the scenario? So if they are moving in opposite direction, then what you will do? You will have to add up the speeds, correct? That is why they will cross it much faster. So now length upon now 100 km per hour plus 4 km per hour, that means 104. Again I am telling you, you don't have to do anything. So this is time, don't solve it just yet. Now L from here, what you get? You get L is equals to 96 into 15. Don't worry about the units as yet. Don't worry about it. We'll clear it up. So you put it here. Simply see kilometer per hour anyway will get cancelled now. Eventually you will get it in second only. Correct. So don't solve it much. 96 into 15 by 104. Now just solve this. How many times this will go? This will go 96 and wait. Let me write it again and then cancel. So 96 into 15 by 104. Now you can cancel it with anything. For example, I can see it getting cancelled by 8. 8, correct. So how many times this will go with 8? So this goes 1 time, correct. 1 will remain with 16. This will go 2 times. Then this also will 8 1 time. 2 will remain with 24. This will go 3 times. So what you got? 12 into 15 by 13. 12 into 15 will be what? 12 5s are 60, correct. So 120 plus 16, that is 180 by 13. What you will get? How many times this will go? 180 by 13. This will go 1 time. Then 5 remains. With 50 it will go 3 times, correct. 39, 11 remains. With 110, this will go how many times? This will go 8 times, correct. So 13.8 something you will get. That is answer is C. Simple. Okay, don't do the calculation just as yet, otherwise it becomes more calculative. That's why try to do it at the end. Then yeah, this was a easy question if you understand things. See, basically what it is saying, see 1 by 3, x is greater than that, y is greater than that, and 2. So what you can take, for example, you can take value x is equals to, let's say, 1 by 2 and y is, let's say, 1. Okay, this is the common thing that will come to everybody's mind. Now if you put it here in the first one, what you will get? You put x is equals to 1 by 2, so this becomes 1 by 2, but 1 by x will become 2, so this becomes 2 plus 1 by 2. Now you put y also, so this becomes y 1 plus 1, so this is 2. Now what it came out to be? Actually this came out to be greater, correct. So of course, is this always correct? No, this is not correct even in this scenario. So you just have to disprove using 1. Now if you look for this one, now if you look here carefully, I can, for example, take this y inside. So what this becomes? This will become, because this is all positive, it does not matter. So y square. Now I can write this. See, for example, I can write it as y square under root. Is this a problem? No, it will come out to be positive y, because y is anyway positive. So this is not a problem. So this only I am doing. I am putting it inside and writing it as y square. Then I am comparing it with 1 plus x square by x square, correct. Y square by 1 by y square, this will come out to be 1 plus 1 by y square plus 1, and this will come out to be 1 by x square plus 1. Now what you get? Now what is greater? It says y is greater than x, then 1 by y will be less than 1 by x, correct. If 3 is greater than 2, then 1 by 3 is less than 1 by 2. So the inequality is actually reverses. Now even if you square them and add 1, it does not matter. 1 by y square plus 1 will always be less than 1 by x square plus 1. So that means this is greater. Now have I used any values Have I used anything? No. I have done it using general method, and that's why this holds true always. In this range, it always holds true. The second statement is actually correct. Answer becomes 2 only. Fine. Then next. Yeah, so what is the minimum number of times one needs to measure to get 298 liters of water from a tank if the measuring cylinders have capacities 1, 6, 25 and 100? Now 1, 6, 25 and 100. These are the cylinders that you have. What you want to measure? You want to measure 298 liters. Correct? You want to measure 298 liters. How do you measure? See, minimum attempt it is asking. Correct? So minimum attempt, how do you find? So basically you measure 100 into 3. From a tank you measure 100, 100, 100. 300 is gone. Now what you subtract? Now after you have taken out 300, now you can do what? You can take out 1 liter and then 1 liter again. What you will get to? You will get to 298. How many attempts did you need? You needed 3 attempts of 100 that you had to put out, and then 2 attempts of 1 that you had to put out. So 3 plus 2, how many attempts? You needed 5 times to take out water out of tank and then from that container. Correct? To measure 298. Then next. Yeah, there are 4 types of weight, namely 1, 2, 5, 10. What is the maximum number of different weights one can measure? 20 kg. Now, if at least 8 but not more than 11 weights of 1 kg are to be used. See, so let's see how many 1 kg weights I am taking. If I am taking 8 1 kg weights, then I have to take 12 kg from somewhere else. This you can feel. Correct? What are the possibilities? With 8 you have to see if you have taken 1 kg 8 times, or 1 kg 9 times, 1 kg 10 times, 1 kg 11 times, not more than that. Correct? So this becomes 12 kg. Now how do you get 12 kg? Using the other weights, that is 2, 5 and 10. Correct? These all 3 you have to see. So how many times? 2, 5 and 10. So basically this becomes 10 plus 2. This is one possibility. Yes. So 10 plus 2 is one possibility. Then what is other? 5 plus 5 plus 2 is also a possibility. Then 2 plus 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2, 6 times. This is also a possibility. So you had 1, 2, 3 ways. Then you go next. So next you go. So this becomes 9 times. Now how many kgs are left here? So if 9 kg is gone, then 11 kg is left. If 11 kg is left, now what you do? So 11 kg means what? How do you get to 11? So only way, using 2, 5 and 10. Of course you cannot use 10 because you don't have 1. So the only possibility is 5 plus 2 plus 2. Correct? Sorry, one more 2. 5 plus 6 becomes 11. Then similarly you go here 10, then this goes 10 kg. How many times can you do 10 kg? How can you do 10 kg? So one is simply just taking 110, or you can go 5 plus 5, or you can go 2 plus 2 plus 2 5 times. So these are the 3 possibilities for 10 kg. And last is for 11. If you take, then you have to make only 9 kg. What are the possibilities? You have only, the only possibility here is 5 plus 2 plus 2. Correct? You cannot get from only 2 or only 10, nothing like that. So how many you got in total if you count it? So this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So answer becomes 8. Again very lengthy, not very useful in the exam anyway. That's why choosing the questions was very important in this paper. Then let's do this. This was a doable question. Just a second. Yeah, let's continue. Yeah, so it says the class average X in a test increases now increases by 4 when the score of a student is rectified. Okay, so class average, let's say, was y. Earlier the average was x. Now we are trying to find the final average. Now it says it increases by 4. Okay, increases by 4 when a student's record was rectified whose corrected score is 100 instead of 0. So they gave him 0 while his real score was 100. Okay, so what is the difference here? So in average, what we do? See, corrected average is equals to average, whatever was the incorrect average, plus correct minus wrong by number, correct minus all the correct numbers minus all the wrong numbers, sum of them, divided by total number. This is the way. Now you take here, so basically what this becomes, C minus W by N. Now here what is the correct? What is the correct? The correct was actually 100 instead of 0. So 100 minus 0 divided by, what is the total number? That I don't know, but because of that average changed by 4. So from this what I get, N is equals to 100 by 4, that is 25. Now if N is equals to 25, it is fairly easy. N is 25. Now next thing it says that later the score of another student was found out to be 81 in place of 56. So here what is the corrected one? Corrected one, later the score of another student was found to have been recorded as 81 in place of 56. So 56 is the correct score, correct? So now here I write it again, plus what is the correct score? 56 minus 81. Why 81? Why 81? Because 81 was the wrong one that they had taken. Divided by what you will do? Total number. Now you have the total number also, which is 25. So this becomes x plus 4 plus 56. 56 minus 81. So what you get? You get here 5 and you will get here 25, but with a negative sign. So minus 25 by 25. So this becomes x plus 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. So this becomes x plus 3. Now it is very simple. Y came out to be x plus 3. It is asking you what is the difference between y minus x. So you will send x here. So y minus x came out to be 3. B is the answer. Okay, so this was fairly simple if you know about averages. Then let's do this again. Very doable, very simple question. X, Y, Z, you have to see basically M. This is the expression x plus y, sorry, x into y plus z. This is the expression. Now here M is the largest possible value and N is the smallest possible value. Now you need to find it. Okay, so basically M minus N is what is being asked from you. So let's make M first, that is maximize this. How you maximize this? What are the numbers available to you? 2, 3, 4, 5. How to maximize x, y? Multiply the first two numbers, multiply the largest ones. So 4 into 5. So this becomes 4 into 5 plus z is what? Z also you are maximizing. So take the next bigger number because you cannot repeat. Okay, so always distinct you have to take. Okay, so always distinct you have to take. Now that is why 4 into 5 plus 3 is what you get. So 4 5s are 20 plus 3 is 23. Then N, this is the maximum value. Now you have to minimize. So what you will take? You will take smaller numbers here and small number here. So 2 into 3 is the smallest. 2 into 3 plus the next smallest, that is 4. 2 3s are 3 2s are 6, 6 plus 4 10. So this is the smallest one. Now what is the difference between them? What is the difference between them? 23 and 10. What is the difference? Difference is of 13. So 13 becomes the answer. Answer is C, 13. Okay, then Next, suppose x, y, z are variables taking positive real numbers as their possible values. Now, again, it was a doable question if you just don't get scared by proportionality and all that. It is given that y is directly proportional to x square and x is inversely proportional to z. Now, if z is equals to 7 by 25, then it is asking you something. Okay, so wait. Now, from these two relations, what can you get? See this. Can you feel something here from them? Now, see this. See, if I connect both of them, then y is directly proportional to x square, that is fine. Now x was directly proportional to 1 by z, so I can write it, x square is directly proportional to 1 by z square. I squared both of them, that also works, correct? X proportional to 1, inversely proportional to z, so x square, z square. From this what I can get? From this I can get y is proportional to 1 by z square. Now if this is so, what you can write? Y is equals to k by z square, where k is some constant. Now, if k is some constant, now let's see. According to the question, it is given when z is 7 by 25, y is 50. Put the values. So z is 7 by 25, y is 50. So y is 50. Z is 7 by 25 whole square, correct? You can send this 7 by 25 whole square there. So this becomes k is equals to 50 into 49 by 25 into 49 by 25 into 25. How many times this will go? 25 ones are 2s are 49 into 2 by 25. So value of k came out to be 49 into 2 is 98 by 25. This is the value of k. Now you can put it here. So y becomes, instead of k, you put here 98 by 25 z square. Now something else is asked. It is asking if y is equals to 98, then what is the value of z? Fairly easy. You put here y is equals to 98. So this becomes what? 98 is equals to 98 by 25 z square. 98 cancelled out. What you get? Z square is equals to 1 by 25 or z is equals to 1 by 5. B becomes the answer. Then next, yeah, this was again a good question. So it was talking about x and y are two runners who run the same duration of time on the circular track. They started running at same time in the same direction with uniform speed. When x completed 7 rounds, y did exactly 5. Okay, so you can assume it like this, that they first run for 1 hour. Now, what is the speed of x? X speed is 7 rounds per hour and y speed is 5 rounds per hour. Now, according to the question, first they are moving in the same direction. So when they move in same direction, what you do with the speeds, relative speed, you subtract them. So that means, what is the meeting time? Meeting time is equals to 1 round upon relative speed. So 1 round is 1, correct? And relative speed is what? 7 minus 5, that is 2 rounds. So this is 1 round, 2 rounds per hour. Then round and round you can cancel. It becomes 1 by 2 of an hour or 30 minutes. So that means in 30 minutes they will meet. So in 1 hour, how many times they will meet? 30 minutes is the time to meet once. So in 1 hour they will meet 2 times. Then after this, what you have to do? So 2 times they met. Then next thing, it says that after this is done, then in the next time they start moving in the opposite direction. So now let's say x is moving in this direction and y is moving in this opposite direction. opposite direction, what you do? You add them, correct? So here in this case, the meeting time becomes, again, they have to go only one round to meet, but here the relative speed changes. This becomes one round divided by, the relative speed is what? Relative speed. Now it also says that actually y doubled his speed. So y changed his direction and started running in the opposite direction with speed which is double of his earlier speed. So now the new one, x is still 7 rounds per hour, but y has now become 10 rounds per hour. So what I'll have to take in this case? I have to take their sum. So 7 plus 10, this becomes 17 rounds per hour, or rounds and round again you can cancel. So this comes out to be 60 by 17 minutes. Correct? Now the question says that x goes on for 21 rounds. So if x goes on for 21 rounds, how many hours it requires? 7 rounds per hour. So that means this whole race went for 3 hours. Now 1 hour was already gone for only 2 meetings. That was a different scenario. Now 2 more hours are left. So how many times they will meet when they start going in opposite direction? 2 hours. That is, so in next 2 hours they meet every 60 by 17 minutes. Correct? Every 60 by 17 minutes they will meet. Now 2 hours means what? 2 into 60 divided by 60 by 17. This is the meeting time for them to meet once, and this is the total time that they have in this motion. So again, what you can do, cancel 60 and 60, 17 into 2, this becomes 34 times. So that means they meet 34 times here, 2 times there. In total, you will feel that they meet 36 times. That is 34 plus 2, 36 times. But it says after they had started and before they finally stopped. So you don't have to count the starting one and the end one. Starting one anyway, you have not counted. So you just have to subtract the end one. 35 is the probable answer. Okay, some people have given 34 because they say that there would be one extra repetition, but in my opinion that won't be counted, or that is already counted only once. So I think it should be 35. Okay, then, but the wording is little dicey, but I think it's 35. Then next it says, in an objective type paper 5 marks are awarded for correct answer, 2 is deducted for wrong answer. Very easy. So for every correct answer you get 5. So 5C. For every wrong you lose 2 marks, so minus 2W. Okay, then a student attempted all questions, so that means C plus W, that is either he got correct or wrong. So C plus W came out to be attempted all questions. Okay, then and got a score of 69. So this is 69, this is fine. Then it is not given, the total number is not given. Okay, total question C plus W is not given. Then next thing it says, had he been awarded 4 marks for correct answer, so 4 for correct, and 1 mark deducted for wrong answer, so minus 1W, he would have scored 84. Okay, then how many questions were there? So C plus W is asked to you eventually. Correct? Now how do you find C plus W? Now if I just subtract them, then I will get the value of 1C minus W. No. So basically you need to solve these and then get the value of C and W. Okay, let's find it. So let's multiply this with 2. So this becomes what? Okay, so this becomes 5C minus 2W is equals to 69. Now if you multiply this with 2, this becomes 8C minus 2W is equals to 84 into 2 is 168. Now if you subtract them, so this becomes minus plus minus, correct? So 5c minus 8c becomes minus 3c. This 2w cancel out. 69 minus 168 becomes minus 99. Minus minus cancel. C came out to be 33. Now you can put it anywhere. Let's say I put it here. So this becomes 33 into 4 into 33. So 4 into 33. 4 3s are 12. 2 here, 1 carry. 4 3s are 12 plus 1. 13. 132 minus 84. So this becomes what? 12 minus 4, that is 8, and 12 minus 4 is 4. So 48. This becomes W. Now C plus W, it is asked in the problem. So 33 plus 48. This becomes 1 carry, and this becomes 81. So total number of questions in the paper was 81. Okay, little lengthy to solve, otherwise it was fine. If you do the calculation fast, then it was doable. Then next, yeah, an explosion takes place. Now this could be done much faster. So it tells you that at 5-2 you have one roll, and at 5-5 the second drone also reaches. Now second drone leaves just when the first drone has taken the picture. So basically the drone takes 3 minutes to reach place of blast. Correct? The drone takes 3 minutes to reach place of blast. But if you read the last part of the question, it also tells that the speed of sound is 300 meters per second. So if there is a blast here, and from here, when this voice is heard, then only drones are left. Correct? So drone takes 3 minutes, that is fine. So if the first drone reaches at 5-2, then it must have heard the sound. It must have heard sound of this explosion at -3. -3 means what? 4 hours and 59 minutes. Correct? It must have heard it at 4 hours and 59 minutes. But the blast must have been much before, because you hear the sound much later. Correct? That sound also has to travel to the speed of sound. So sound is from much farther. So those 300 meters per second you have to divide. So some little lesser than 459 is what you will get as answer. So in these options, if you see 459, this is wrong. Then of course not more than 459. Correct? It will take even more time. Then 456 is actually too much time to be taken. This is slightly lesser, and this is also the answer. If you want to calculate, it is easier. The distance you will get out to be, distance comes out to be 5400 meters, and then you have to just divide it by 300 to get the answer. So this will come out to be 0 cancel. This will come out to be 18 seconds, and that's why apart from 3 minutes you have to also subtract 18 seconds, and 458 42 becomes the answer. Fine. Then, but otherwise this should have been done like this only. Then next, the digit in the unit place of this number, very easy. 6 always have, whatever power always will have 6 only as unit digit. Then 7 power 307. Now what you do, 307 divided by 4, what is the remainder? 04. So 7 power 3, what you have done, you are divided by 4. So 7 cube, 7 7s are 49, 49 7s are 343. So last digit is 3. That's it. So last digit becomes what? 6 into 3, that is 18, or 8 is the last digit. C becomes the answer. Then next, 7s are 3. Yeah, next, a person saves 10% of his salary. All these are much easier now. A person saves 10% of his salary every month. Okay, very good, congrats. Then if his salary increases by 12% and the expenditure increases by 10%, then what will be the change in his saving per month? Now see, let's say 100 is his salary. Correct? Now it says saves 10% of his salary. Okay, so that means his saving is 10 rupees is his saving. This is the scenario 1. Now, it says if his salary increases by 12%, correct? Now, that means if 10 is the saving, one more thing, if 10 is the saving, then 90 is the expenditure. Correct? This is the scenario 1. Now, scenario 2 is what? The next scenario. So, if his salary increases by 12%, so then it becomes what? The salary becomes 112 rupees. This becomes the new salary. Correct? 12% increase. Now, and the expenditure increases by 10%. So, 10% increase means what? 10% over this 90. 10% increase means 9 more. So, 99 rupees becomes the expenditure. What is the saving now? 112 minus 99. So, 13 rupees is the new saving. Then it is asking you that what will be the percentage change in savings per month. So, percentage change means what? Final value minus initial value upon initial value into 100. Correct? Or you can directly see also 13 minus 10, final minus initial. So, this becomes 3 divided by initial value was 10 into 100. How many times? 0, 0, 3 into 10. 30% increase is the answer. B is the answer. Then next. How many times does 5 appear in a two digit number? Now, again, fairly easy. Once you can take 5 in the unit digit and once in the tens digit. Now, first let's do the unit digit one. So, here I put 5. There is nothing else that matters in my life. How many numbers can I put here? Can I put 0? No. But then it won't be a 2 digit number. So, I cannot put 0, but I can put any other number. So, 9 possibilities. Now, if I do it in the tens digit, now see. So, now I put 5 here, nothing to choose here, but how many ways can I fill this now? How many ways? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till 9. So, 10 ways. So, in total 9 plus 10, in total 19 ways I can do this, or there are 19 such 2 digit numbers possible. You can also count it like general 5, 15, okay, like that you have to count. That way also it works. Then next is this. Now, X travels 6 km on a bicycle with average speed of 5 km per hour. Very good. 10 km per hour and 4 km per hour during the first kilometer, next 2 km, remaining 3 km. Oh, very easy. So basically what he does, 6 km both are traveling. X does what? See, X travels the first kilometer at what speed? At 5 km per hour. Correct? I am writing the times. Okay, the time taken by X and Y. Time is distance upon speed. So 1 km at speed of 5 km per hour plus. Now 10 km per hour for the next 2 km. So next 2 km at 10 km per hour. Then the last is whatever is remaining. 1 plus 2, 3 km is done. 6 km. So 3 more km he will go. Now this 3 km he goes at speed of 4 km per hour. X timing I have found. Now let's find for Y also. So Y travels the same distances. Okay, so same distances means 1 by something, 2 by something and plus 3 by something. Correct? Now speeds I have to write. So first case average speed is 4, then it is 10 and then it is 5. Now it is asking you the time difference between them. Now this is time only. Correct? So I just have to subtract these two equations. So I just subtract these two equations. X minus Y is equals to what? Now 2 by 10 you can cancel out. Correct? What you are left with is 1 by 5 minus 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4 plus 3 by 5. Correct? Now can you see this? 1 by 4 minus 3 by 4, isn't this 1 by 2? Correct? Plus 1 by 5 plus 1 by 5 plus 3 by 5. Sorry, 1 by 5 minus. 1 by 5 minus 3 by 5. Now, 1 by 5 minus 3 by 5. So 1 minus 3 means what? This is equal to minus 2 by 5. Now what you will get? 5 2s are 10. This goes how many times? 5 times, and this goes 2 times. 2 2s are 4. 5 minus 4, 1. So 1 by 10 is what you got, but this is in hour. You must convert it into minute. So 1 by 10 hour, or in minute, 1 by 10 into 60, that is 6 minute is the time difference. Answer becomes B. Then next, yeah, this was again very easy. A and B are company. Okay, now it says male and female ratio in A and B. So this is A, okay, and this is B. Now this is male ratio female. Male ratio female in A is 13 ratio 10, and in B it is 7 ratio 5. Now it is saying if both the companies have the same number of female workers, then what is the ratio of total number of workers in A and those of B? Same female, they want same female. So female is 10 here, 5 here. Can I make them same? Yes, just multiply it with 2. So what I will get? I will get here, so 13 ratio 10, and what I will get here? I will get here 14 ratio 10. Now it is equal. Female has become equal. Now it is asking you the ratio between A and B, total employees. So total employees in A is what? 23. In B it is 24. So answer becomes 23 ratio 24. Answer is B. Okay, fine, simple. Then next, all these are much simpler now. That is why you had to skip them and then get to these. Again, simple. The product of HCF and LCM of two numbers, distinct number, is the cube of one of the numbers. Now, one formula you know, HCF into LCM of two numbers is equal to their product. This you know, correct? Now if is the cube of one of the numbers. Now it is given that this is equal to, let's say A is that number, is equals to A cube. Now from this what you can get? A and A you can cancel out. So B is actually equal to A square. This you can get very easily. Then the difference between the numbers is an even number. Now what are the numbers? A and A square. You take their difference, A square minus A, that means A into A minus 1. Now will this be an even number? Yes. If this is even, then obviously even. If this is odd, then also this becomes odd into odd minus 1. What is odd minus 1? We have done this in just some earlier question. Odd minus 1 is even into odd, again even, and if you take here even, then this also becomes even minus 1. So even into odd is also even, correct? So in both the scenarios, it will always give you an even number. So this is absolutely correct, and one of the numbers is the perfect square, correct? B is equals to A square. So this is also correct. Answer becomes C, both A and B. Then next, again fairly easy. It says 4x 5y 790, okay, is divisible by 11. So this is divisible by 11. Then what is the remainder if x plus y is divided by 11? Now very easy. If it is divisible by 11, you know plus 1 minus 1, that was the rule. So write it 4 minus x plus 5 minus y plus 7 minus 9 plus 0. Now what you get here? 4 plus 5 is 9, 9 minus 9, gone. 4 plus 5 is 9, minus 9 is gone. So basically what you got? Minus x minus y plus 7. Now this has to be a multiple of 11. What are the possibilities? It is just asking you actually the remainder if x plus y is divided by 11. So any you take as value of x plus y, you will get the answer. So one possibility is what? X plus y becomes 7, correct? So this is actually 7 minus x plus y. Now if x plus y becomes 7, this will become 0. 0 is divisible by every number. So that satisfies the property. Now x plus y you got 7. What is the remainder when x plus y is divided by 11? So x plus y when divided by 11, that means x plus y divided by 11, what is the remainder? X plus y is 7, so remainder is 7. Answer becomes D. Even if you take some other number, for example, you can also get here some other numbers using which again you can get a multiple of, for example, you can subtract something. For example, if you make x plus y is equals to 18, then 7 minus 18 becomes minus 11. That also works, but that is not needed. Even if you take x plus y is equals to 18, 18 divided by, take that also. So from that 18 divided by 11, what is the remainder? Again 7. They have given like this because every time it is getting to 7. So answer is 7. Then let's do next. Again fairly easy. This is P. Okay, very similar to the question before, P and Q. Now here you have copper ratio, zinc. Now this is 20%, this is 80%. Correct? Now the next is, this is 60%, this is 40%. Now can I not write it like this? See what I am writing. Instead of 20 ratio 80, can I not write it 1 ratio 4? And instead of 60 ratio 40, can I not write it 3 ratio 2? This is fine. Now it is telling you that P and Q, how they should be mixed so that they are equal in quantity in the mixture. So what is the difference here? Difference here is of 1. What is the difference here? Between C and Z, you want to make them equal now. So you want the difference same, correct? So C and Z, what is the difference here? Here the difference is of 3. Here the difference is of 1. What to do? How to make this difference 3? Multiplied by 3. And this multiplied by 1. So what is the ratio of P ratio Q? 1 ratio 3. You can also check it. Let's do. So multiply by 1. What becomes? 1 ratio 4. Multiply by 3. This becomes 9 ratio 6. Now if you add them, 9 plus 1, 10 ratio points, 4 plus 6, 10 ratio points. This is copper ratio, zinc, exactly equal. So answer becomes what? 1 ratio 3. Fine, simple. Then next, yeah, so this is a 2-digit number. It says A minus B is a 27 multiple. A minus B is a multiple of 27. Now what multiples of 27 are possible here? So basically A and B are interchange of each other, correct? So what I can write, let's say A is a number like xy, then I can write it like 9 into x minus y, correct? Now this is equals to 27 multiple, correct? Multiples of 27. So one possibility is 27. Then there are other possibilities also. Okay, then let's look at the second possibility. 9 into x minus y, another multiple of 27, that is 54. Possible, correct? Then next, 9 into x minus y is equals to 81. Now the next would be what? 27. If you add more to it, it becomes 108. Is 108 possible? Is 108 possible? No. Why not? Because this is difference between 2 digits. What is the maximum difference you can get to? 9 and 0. So 9 is the maximum, that is 9 9s are 81 is what you can get to. No other number. Now let's start doing. So x minus y is equals to 20. So here x minus y came out to be 3 from this. Correct? If x minus y is equals to 3, start writing it x, y. So that means x will be some bigger number, correct? X minus y is 3. Now a minus b is given. Okay, yes, a minus b is a multiple of 27. Yes. Okay, so if a minus b is very clearly given, a has to be always the bigger number. Now start doing. So 9 minus 6, then 8 minus 5, then 7 minus 4, then 6 minus 3, then 5 minus 2, then 4 minus 1, then 3 minus 0. Is 30 possible? Is 30 possible? No. It is a 2-digit number with different digits. B is also a 2-digit number, but when you turn this, it becomes 0, 3. So actually this is not possible, because 0, 3 is not a 2-digit number. So how many you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But don't take it just yet. Why? Because other cases also I have to take. Now let's do this. So here what I got? Here I got x minus y, 54 by 9, that is 6. Now again I start writing the numbers x, y. Let's start writing the numbers. Difference is of 6. So I start with 9, 3, then 8, then 2, then 7, then 1, then 6 and 0. If 6 and 0 possible? 60, again it will become 0, 6. So this is also not possible. Now you come here. Is there anything possible here? That only we'll have to check, but I don't think it is possible. X minus y is equals to 9, correct? Now what are the possibilities? Only possibility is 9, 0, correct? But the opposite of this or the reverse of this becomes 0, 9. Not a 2-digit number. So how many you got? 6 from here, 3 from there. Answer becomes 9. That's it. Then next. Yeah. So there are 3 types of rectangular tiles: 3 into 3, 3 into 7, 3 into 11, and area is of rectangular shape. Now one thing, just focus on here. So basically this is like this. Okay, so this is like 100, this is like 3. Now you are putting some different kinds of tiles to fill this area, but you observe this, all of them have 3, 3, 3, 3. That means it is not even a 2D problem, because it will be like 3 into 7, 3 into 7, because this part is wholly covered. So it is essentially a 1D problem only, because 3 does not matter at all. So ultimately what you want, let's say 7 wali, how many tiles of 3 into 3 you should take? Only focus on these numbers now, 3, 7, 11. So let's say the first kind of you take A tiles, second kind of you take B tiles, the third kind of you take C tiles, and whole of this has to cover 100 exactly, not breaking, okay, not half tile, nothing like that. So what you do? Just start doing it. Now it is asking you the maximum and minimum number. So x is what? X is the maximum. So how many maximum number of tiles can you use and how many minimum? So let's see minimum first. Minimum, how many tiles you need? So for minimum, what you will do? Maximize C, correct? 11 it will try to cover. So let's see, C maximum can be 9, but for 9 you will get only 1, correct? So you won't get an integer value for A and B, correct? So this is not possible. Then C is equals to 8, 88. Now is there any possible value for A or B, anything like this? Is it possible? Yes. 11 is the 88. Now you need to get to 12. So A is equals to 4 gets you to 12. So this is a possibility. Now add them all together to get the number of tiles. How many you got? 8 plus 4. So you got 12 tiles. Correct? Then next you want the maximum number of tiles. So maximum, what you will do? You will use more and more of A. So A is, let's say, 33. Is this possible? No. Why? Because then 1 is not divisible by any of them. So at least some from you should get from B and C, correct? So now you can do it in your head. What you can get to is A is equals to 32 also is not possible for the same reason. 96, 4 is not available, but A is equals to 31 works, because 31 into 3 is 93, and then you can take one tile of 7. So B is equals to 1 is what you will get, and then C is also 0, does not matter. Now what you got? 31 plus 1, that is 32 tiles. It is asking you the difference between these two, maximum and minimum. So 32 minus 12, what you got? 20 tiles. Answer is A, 20 tiles. Fine. Then next, yeah, again just a calculation based question, nothing much. A train has to complete a journey of 800 kilometers. Very good. 800 kilometers is what it has to go. Now next, yeah, so 800 kilometers it has to go. If it meets a minor accident, its speed becomes half. Okay, so accident, so let's see, let's call its speed, let's call it speed as V, original speed. Then if there is an accident, then it will become V by 2. Then if there is a defect, it is given in the question, then it becomes V by 4. Simple. Now let's start doing, yeah, mechanical defect. Then on its way, the train meets a minor accident after 200 kilometers. So 200 kilometer was fine. So 200 by V. Then after 200 kilometer and 400 kilometer thereafter, it develops a mechanical defect. So 200 kilometer it was fine. Then for 400 kilometers it had what? It had minor accident. Correct. So the speed was V by 2. Correct. Speed was V by 2. Now after traveling 600 kilometer, now it developed the mechanical defect. So next is how much? 200 kilometers remaining. 600 is already done. 200 is remaining. Now it develops a mechanical defect also. So what the speed becomes? Now some people will say that it will become V by 4. But please be careful, because already accident has happened. So this velocity will become 1/4. Correct. This velocity will become 1/4. So V by 2 and then 1/4 of V by 2, that is V by 8. Be very careful about this. Okay, now it says, had the train developed the mechanical defect after 200 kilometers, okay, so mechanical defect after 200 kilometers means 200 kilometers it was fine. Then mechanical defect after 200 kilometer and met the minor accident 400 kilometer thereafter. So this is again same, but this is opposite now. Now how much the speed will decrease because of the defect? V will become, whatever was the velocity before will become 1/4. So this would have become V 1/4 and 200. Now it gets the accident also. So this becomes what? Now you will divide this again, V by 4 divided by 2. So you will get V by 8. Fine. Now it says it would have taken 4 more hours to reach its destination. So these are the timings, distance upon speed, distance upon speed. The difference between them is given to be 4 hours. Now let's solve them. Okay, so this becomes what? Can I cancel any of them? Okay, so let's see. 200 by V plus 4 2s are 800 by V plus 8 2s are 1600 by V. Now here 200 by V, or then let's see, 4 4s are 1600 by V, then 8 2s are 1600 by V. Now let's start cancelling out. What I got? Difference is what? Difference is 800 by V. Now this is given to be 4 hours. So this is 4 hours. That means if you divide, what is the velocity? 800 by 4, that is 200 kilometer per hour is the velocity. Answer becomes A, 200. Okay, little calculative, no solution to that. I can do it using tricks and all, but that itself is an afterthought. Okay, I did it using much shorter method, but after doing this, which requires much more application, that does not really work. Okay, then yeah, again this is very basic calculation. Okay, this nothing much here. So basically the components are like, see, the component here is 0.2, then for this it is 0.3, for this it is 0.5. Now you need to calculate, now you want to calculate whatever is the marks that they are scoring. Okay, what is the total compound percentage or weightage that they get? So 0.2 into 5 is 1. 0.2 into 5 is 1. Only one I will do properly. See, 0.2 into 5 plus. Now 0.2 into 5 is what? 0.2 into 5 is 1 plus 0.3 into 4 is what? 1.2. Then 0.5 into 6. 0.5 into 6 is what? 6 5s are 30, so that means 3. So this becomes what? 3 plus 1, 4. 4 plus 1.2 is 5.2. This is for the first one. So first one, let me move it there only. Yeah, so this came out to be 5.2. Now similarly you do for this also. Similarly you do for this also. So 4 into 0.2 is 0.8. 0.8 plus 1.8 plus, so this becomes 0.8 plus 0.3 into 6 is 1.8 plus 5 into 0.5 is 2.5. So 2.5 plus 2.6, this becomes 5.1. Now similarly this, if you do, it comes out to be 5.2, and then if you do this 9 into 0.2, this becomes 1.8 plus 0.3 into 4 becomes 1.2, then 0.5 into 3 becomes 1.5. So this becomes what? 3 plus 1.5. So this came out to be 4.5, and then last is much lower actually. So 8 into 0.2 is 1.6, 8 into 0.3 is 2.4, then 0.5 into 2 is 1. So this becomes 4 plus 1, 5. Now the question is actually asking you what should be the cutoff that exactly 3 people qualify. So what should be the cutoff? 5.2, 5.1, 5.2. So what should I keep as cutoff? 5.2, then only 2 will qualify. If I keep it 4, if I keep it 5, then 1, 2, 3, 4 will qualify. So what I want? 3 qualification. If I keep the cutoff as 5.1, then what will happen? This guy qualifies, this is also qualifying, this is also qualifying. Won't. Exactly 3 qualifications. That's why the answer to this becomes 5 point. Fine. Then next. Yeah. So there are 3 partners, ABC. Now they are into a business. A invested 1/3 of the capital and 1/3 of the duration. Now capital I am writing as money. So this is, let's say, total money, and T I am writing as total time. Now see how you get any kind of interest or profit. It is based on how much money you invested for how much time. Both things are important, correct? So you do that only. So A ratio B ratio C is what I am trying to find. A invested 1/3 for 1/3 duration. So this becomes what? 1/3 into 1/3. You can write it as, for example, M and T. 1/3 money for T/3 time. Then let's write B. 1/4 money of the capital for 1/4 duration. So M/4 into T/4. Then C, invested the remaining capital for the whole duration. So remaining capital is what? M/3, M/4. So that means what? M/3 plus M/4 is what? 4 3s are 12. 4 plus 3, 7. 7 M/12 is already gone. What remains? 5 M/12 is the remaining. So that means C is investing how much? 5 M/12. Now for the entire duration, that means into T. Correct? Now you just have to find the ratio. Empty you can cancel. It becomes 1/9 ratio 1/16 ratio 5/12. Can you see something common? Denominator multiply by 144, divisible by all 3. This is their LCM also. So 144/9, this becomes 16, this becomes 9, and this goes 12 times. 12 5s are 60. So this is the sum total of their ratio points. Now out of the profit of 17,000 is the total profit. How much C should be getting? So C should be getting how much? Total is what? 16 plus 9 is 25. 25 plus 60. 25 plus 60 is 85. So total is 85. Correct? How much is that of C? How much is that of C? C's contribution is 60. So 60 out of 80. So if there was only 85 rupees profit, how much C should get? 60. Now if there is more, how much C should get? Just multiply it. So multiplied by 17,000. How many times? This goes 17, 1, 0, 0, 0, and this goes 5 times. Then 5 ones are 5, this goes 12 times. 12 into 1000, this becomes 12. Answer becomes A, 12,000. Understood? Simple. Then next. Yeah, this was also fairly simple if you know this formula. See, so basic thing is that if they give it to you like this, that there is a container and then they start taking out some liquid. So they start with some pure liquid, for example A, and then they start taking out portions of A out, and what they put? They putting pure B in. Correct? If they are doing this, for example, there is pure wine and then they start taking 10 ml out of wine, put 10 ml of water, then 10 ml again of the whatever was the composition, and then again pure water. So if they keep doing this, okay, keep doing this, then what is the left percentage? Understand that. So A left is actually equal to whatever was the initial quantity, so initial value into what is remaining, then into what is remaining, then into what is remaining. This is how you calculate it. Now let's apply this. Now let's see. So there are two chemicals that do not react with each other. A container contains 10 liters of chemical A. So A left I am calculating. 10 liters are their initial value. Now 1 liter of this chemical is removed. So 1 is removed. Now out of 10, if 1 liter is removed, how much is left? How much is left? Okay, so 1 is gone, so 9 is left, correct? So that means 9 by 10, correct? Now again the next thing what will happen? Now again from this also 1 by 10 is gone, correct? Again they are doing this again and again. So 1 liter again taken out. So again this becomes 9 by 10, and then it actually becomes 9 by 10 again. So how many times they have repeated? See this. 1 liter of this chemical is removed and 1 liter of chemical B is poured. Done. Once I have written 9 by 10. Then 1 liter of mixture is removed and 1 liter of B is poured. So this is also done. Then next, if this process of replacing 1 liter of the mixture by 1 liter of B is performed once more, then what is the volume? So once more, so this also I have considered. Now it is asking you what is the value of B approximately. So this is the equation. A left you can calculate very easily. Now what you get here? 10 into 9 by 10 into 9 by 10 into 9 by 10. So basically 10 cancel. 9 nines are 81, 81 nines are 729, 729 by 100. This comes out to be 72.9%. Correct? So 72.9% is what? Or 72.9% is A. So what is B? Approximately this is 73%. So what is B? B is 27%. B becomes the answer. Okay. Then in the foundation codes we have done a very similar question like this. Then this is the last question, fairly easy. It says a shopkeeper employs a delivery boy and gives him a motorcycle for home delivery. For every delivery, the boy is given plus 5 rupees. Now for every kilometer of distance he is given plus 2 rupees. Correct. Now the boy wants to earn more than 500 a day. Okay, he has hopes, he has dreams. Okay, so he wants to earn more than 500 then, but does not want to travel more than 100 kilometers. So now maximum that he is ready to travel is 100 kilometers. Now what is the minimum that he wants to go? We don't know. Minimum how much distance he is ready to go, that we don't know at all. Correct. So maybe he is traveling just 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers. Maximum he won't go beyond 100, that we know. Now it is asking 500 a day he wants to earn. Now how many deliveries would ensure this, that he makes 500? How many deliveries would be needed? Now you take any of them. For example, you take 80. So 80 into 5, 400 rupees he has made, but he wants to make 500. So that means he must travel 50 kilometers at least. Now is there a minimum limit? Maybe he is not traveling. Maybe he is just delivered in one colony, and that does not ensure it. So this is not possible. Correct. Then similarly here also you multiply by 5, this becomes like 450. Then also you don't know if he traveled 25 kilometers or not. Because why? The issue is because there is no minima on number of kilometers he must travel. So there is no minima. So minima is not there. So maybe he traveled only 1 kilometer, then he won't be able to earn 500 rupees, because for 1 kilometer was just 2 rupees more he will get. Correct. So that is why this cannot be determined, because the minima itself is not defined. Only maxima was defined for delivery, for distance. Okay, so this is it. We are done with your quants question. Okay, all questions we have solved. Okay, whenever you feel fine and okay to check the answers or to see the solutions, to learn or whatever, then you can see this. Okay, I have solved it properly so that there is no discrepancies that are left here. That's it. Thank you.